Welcome to our channel. In the grand halls of Buckingham Palace, on April 21, 1926, a baby girl was born who would one day become the longest-reigning monarch in British history. Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor entered the world with a tuft of blonde hair and bright blue eyes, captivating the hearts of her parents, the Duke and Duchess of York. Her birth was celebrated with joy and anticipation, heralding the beginning of a remarkable journey that would span over 9 decades. Affectionately called Lilibet by her close family, young Elizabeth grew up in a loving environment alongside her sister, Margaret. Her childhood days were filled with playtime in the palace gardens, where she would chase butterflies and laugh with delight. Despite her royal lineage, Elizabeth cherished the simple joys of childhood, finding solace in the company of her family. From an early age, she displayed a keen intelligence and a strong sense of curiosity, eager to explore the world around her. As she grew older, Elizabeth's parents instilled in her a sense of duty and responsibility. They emphasized the importance of service to others and the role of the monarchy in uniting the nation. Despite her royal status, Elizabeth was taught to treat others with kindness and humility, values that would shape her reign as queen. With her father's unexpected ascension to the throne as King George VI in 1936, Elizabeth's life took on a new purpose. She devoted herself to her studies, immersing herself in constitutional history and preparing for the responsibilities that lay ahead. Under the guidance of her tutors, she learned the intricacies of governance and diplomacy, honing the skills that would serve her well in her future role as queen. In addition to her academic studies, Elizabeth also pursued interests in the arts and humanities. She developed a love for literature, music, and theater, attending performances and cultural events whenever her schedule allowed. Her appreciation for the arts would later influence her patronage of various cultural institutions and organizations throughout her reign. The outbreak of World War II in 1939 brought unprecedented challenges to the nation, but it also provided Elizabeth with an opportunity to serve. Determined to contribute to the war effort, she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, ATS, in 1945 at the age of 18. Serving as a driver and mechanic, Elizabeth worked alongside other women in supporting roles, helping to transport supplies and personnel to military bases across the country. During her time in the ATS, Elizabeth gained valuable insights into the lives of ordinary people and the sacrifices they made during wartime. She formed lasting friendships with her fellow service members, bonding over shared experiences and a common sense of purpose. Her time in the military instilled in her a deep sense of pride and gratitude for the courage and resilience of the British people. In 1947, Elizabeth's life took another significant turn when she married Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten, a naval officer she had met several years earlier. The couple's courtship had captured the attention of the nation, with newspapers reporting on their romance and eventual engagement. The grand ceremony at Westminster Abbey was a celebration of love and unity, with Elizabeth radiant in a satin wedding gown adorned with intricate lace and pearls. As queen, Elizabeth and Philip would go on to have 4 children: Charles, Andrew, and Edward. Their marriage would endure through the trials and tribulations of public life, providing a source of strength and support for both partners. Despite the demands of their respective roles, Elizabeth and Philip remained devoted to each other, their love enduring throughout the years. Tragedy struck in 1952 when King George VI passed away, leaving Elizabeth to ascend the throne at the young age of 25. The news of her father's death reached her while she was on a tour of Kenya with Philip, thrusting her into the role of queen amidst a wave of grief and uncertainty. Despite the challenges that lay ahead, Elizabeth remained steadfast in her commitment to serve her nation. Her coronation in 1953 was a momentous occasion, attended by dignitaries from around the world. Dressed in robes of state and wearing the imperial state crown, Elizabeth pledged to uphold the values of duty, service, and sacrifice that had defined her reign. The ceremony marked the beginning of a new era for the monarchy, with Elizabeth at its helm as the nation's sovereign. Queen Elizabeth II's reign coincided with a period of significant decolonization in Africa. As countries across the continent sought independence from colonial rule, Elizabeth played a crucial role in navigating Britain's transition from empire to Commonwealth. She worked closely with leaders such as Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana and Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, fostering positive relationships and facilitating peaceful transitions to independence. While the process of decolonization was not without its challenges, Elizabeth approached the task with a sense of pragmatism and diplomacy. She recognized the inevitability of change and sought to ensure that Britain's former colonies could transition to self-governance in a manner that was both peaceful and sustainable. Her efforts helped to lay the groundwork for the modern Commonwealth, a voluntary association association of independent nations bound together by shared values and mutual respect. In addition to overseeing decolonization efforts, Queen Elizabeth II played a key role in the process of amalgamation within the United Kingdom itself. During her reign, she presided over the creation of the modern state of the United Kingdom, which brought together England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland into a single political entity. This process involved the consolidation of various administrative structures and the devolution of powers to regional governments, reflecting the diverse identities and aspirations of the UK's constituent nations. Amalgamation was a complex and multifaceted process that required careful negotiation and compromise. Elizabeth worked closely with political leaders from across the UK to navigate the challenges of devolution and ensure that the interests of all parties were taken into account. Her leadership and diplomacy were instrumental in fostering a sense of unity and common purpose among the nations of the UK, laying the foundation for a more inclusive and equitable society. Queen Elizabeth's reign spanned over 6 decades, marked by immense social change and global upheaval. From the decline of the British Empire to the rise of the digital age, she navigated the complexities of the modern world with grace and resilience. Her weekly audiences with prime ministers, from Winston Churchill to Tony Blair, demonstrated her dedication to her constitutional role as monarch. Throughout her reign, Elizabeth remained a steadfast symbol of continuity and stability, earning the respect and admiration of her people. She undertook numerous state visits and royal tours, representing the United Kingdom on the world stage and strengthening diplomatic ties with other nations. Her dedication to public service was evident in her tireless work ethic and commitment to her duties as queen. Throughout her reign, Queen Elizabeth faced personal and public challenges with courage and fortitude. From family scandals to national tragedies, she remained a pillar of strength for her people, offering comfort and support in times of crisis. Despite the weight of her responsibilities, she carried herself with dignity and grace, embodying the values of duty, service, and sacrifice that had defined her reign. As Queen Elizabeth's reign entered its 7th decade, her legacy continued to grow, transcending borders and generations. She had witnessed profound changes in society and the world, yet throughout it all, she remained a steadfast symbol of continuity and stability. Her unwavering dedication to duty and service had earned her the respect and admiration of people around the globe, while her warmth and humility had endeared her to millions. As she approached her twilight years, Queen Elizabeth's thoughts turned to the future, to the legacy she would leave behind. She had dedicated her life to the service of her people, striving to uphold the values of integrity, compassion, and duty that had guided her reign. And as she looked back on her long and illustrious reign, she knew that her greatest legacy would be the enduring strength and unity of the monarchy she had worked so tirelessly to uphold. Throughout her reign, Queen Elizabeth had navigated the complexities of royal life with grace and dignity. From her childhood days in Buckingham Palace to her final years as queen, she had remained true to her values and commitments, serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration for her people. As the world mourned her passing in 2022, it also celebrated her extraordinary life and legacy. From her steadfast dedication to public service to her unwavering commitment to her constitutional duties, Queen Elizabeth II had left an indelible mark on history. Her reign had been a testament to the enduring power of leadership, resilience, and grace under pressure. Though she may have passed from this world, Queen Elizabeth's legacy would live on in the hearts and minds of her people. Her memory would be honored in the annals of history, a reminder of the extraordinary impact that one individual can have on the world. And as the sun set on the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a new chapter began for the monarchy and the nation she had served so faithfully. Though she may be gone, her spirit would endure, a guiding light for future generations to follow. Long live Queen Elizabeth II. Kindly like, share, and subscribe.